Well, hello. This is my first attempt at a YouTube video. I'm interested in antique radio, so I thought I'd do one on one of my oldest radios, a Stewart Warner, about 1927-28. Stewart Warner model 525 battery radio, a TRF radio. TRF meaning tuned radio frequency, which was the, I want to say, leading edge or cutting edge, I guess, radio technology in the 20s up till even the very early 1930s. So at any rate, this was this is a battery radio. I've owned it for about 15 years. This is about the second time in that time period that I've actually powered it up, but today's the first time I've powered it up to full power. And instead of, I do have some batteries on it. This type of radio took three types of batteries. An A, a B, and a C. A was usually a storage battery, likely a 6-volt storage battery. I'm using a rechargeable 6-volt battery here for the filaments of the tube. The plate voltages, originally the B batteries, a lot of them were 90 volt or 45, and you would put the 45 volt batteries in series. In this case you would need three to get a maximum voltage of 135. I'm using a battery eliminator, which I bought at a Hamfest and just kind of repurposed it for my use. So that takes care of the A, the B, and the C. The C battery is for your bias voltages, which you need in this radio on the two audio tubes, on the first audio and the second audio being the output tube. And you need two C voltages, and I'm using flashlight batteries here, -9 on the output, -5 or so on the first audio. And I have a tap here in my series of flashlight batteries. It's a nice radio. There wasn't much to do as far as restoration. Wiring is in very good shape. Cloth covered wire, it seems to hold up well. And it was designed for a outside long wire antenna. So you'd have a wire up maybe between two buildings on your property, and the wire would come in, well, the antenna would come in, be a wire, it would come in and go to the terminals here, antenna and ground. Wire would come in, and then your signal would go through a variocoupler here, and you would match up your radio to the antenna. I'm just going to turn the volume up a bit.
Necessarily go away once you adjust to that 1 hour of time change.
And just watch or just listen to the differences that you watch me turn the
keeps their clocks the same year round. It's a new way to join the conversation. Have your say with the CFRA Talkback button on the iHeartRadio app. Marianne McCarty's in our CTV Weather Center.
Back down so I can talk. No, I'm not using a long wire because a long wire antenna is very noisy here in the city. I pick up a lot of noise on the house and outside, so I'm using a homemade loop antenna. And these were common as well. This is a tuned loop antenna. There's an old radio capacitor across the loop. So about 15, 16 turns of enamel wire. And there's two turns there, which is the coupling or the pickup wire. That goes, and that's going across my antenna terminals, and it works very well.
In that direction. Now looking at the Highway
And if
417
you
slowing
miss-
down in the usual spots. Light delays. Eastbound at Carling, there's some volume building westbound between.
So you see, I can vary the signal. I can tune the signal using this antenna. So it's kind of working with and could work against the vario coupler here. But anyway, now you've got 3 stages of RF amplification. These 3 tubes. And so your RF on this side, 2 variable capacitors ganged, and then you have your detector tube pulling off the first audio amplifier, then your output tube, and 2 audio transformers here. Audio goes into the high impedance speaker. In this case, it's a metal horn speaker. It's actually an Atwater Kent Model L. At least the horn is. When I bought this, there was no driver, there was no bass. And so I made an enclosure, and I'm using an output transformer with an impedance to match up to my output tube, which is around 7,000 ohms. As I said, it's a really well-preserved radio. I'd love to know how long it sat in storage before I owned it. I'm sure it went out of use maybe in the late 30s. Certainly as areas as the hydro came through, the battery radios put away, either put on a shelf or disposed of otherwise. But this one has survived. And those are the types of batteries that you would see. Now you wouldn't see, this is a 1.5 volt battery. It's low voltage, but a high current battery. This would be array in some cases. This is a 1.5 volts. Wouldn't work on this radio. I think they used to call them telephone batteries. This is a D battery. This is a 90 volt B battery. I believe that came out of a small plastic radio that I had. And this is the separate C battery for your bias voltages. So you can see there, you could pull off -4.5, -3 tapped. So, at any rate, this is my Stewart Warner Model 525. I think it was likely made here in Canada. It could have been made in Belleville, Ontario, but the plate is gone from the cabinet, so I don't know for sure. My next video, I'm going to have it back in the cabinet, and you can get an idea of what it looks like when it's all assembled. And again, thanks for watching.